This episode of Watch Out for Fireballs is brought to you by our patrons. Patrons such as Rizana, Dustin, Ryan, Callum, Andrew. What a crop. Good crop. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you. My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Cole Ross.
And you're listening to Watch Out for Fireballs. It is a Games Club podcast.
And this week we are talking about Max Payne 3, which is a third-person shooter developed and published by Rockstar Games for the PC and consoles in 2012.
Maximum pain.
Implies the existence of minimum pain.
Mini pain. Hello.
He's tiny and he's angry.
Yeah, that'd be great if there's a little mini pain in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I was a pen. It was the worst thing I could think of. This is our premium episode for this month, which means that everybody gets the generalities, and then patrons at the $5 level or above get the full episode.
Yes.
And all the back full episodes. So join us.
Please do. Patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Yeah.
In this game, you play as the titular Maximum Payne. It is 9 years after the events of Max Payne 2, the fall of Max Payne.
Yes.
And you have left New Jersey. You've gone to work private security in Sao Paulo, Brazil, acting as a bodyguard for the Bronco family, the wealthiest family in Brazil.
Yes. Family of playboys, socialites, ne'er-do-wells, etc. And you're still Max Payne. You're still a lot of negative self-talk, you know?
We'll get into that. Max Payne's real down on himself. I need Max Payne to realize how boring self-hatred is. It's a weird game. We'll get to the generalities once we get to the kind of specifics or the basic concept.
Yes,
out of the way. Yeah, Max Payne does not like himself very much.
No. Well, if I kill thousands of people, I probably would be kind of iffy about it too.
I'll tell you what I do before being iffy.
Therapy.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
Like it's really trying to bail out a ship, that's while the faucet's on.
Yeah.
Ship faucets.
Exactly. It's that equalized pressure on submarines anyway. So of course, while you are guarding these folks, these party people, things go wrong and you get kind of sucked into this gritty neo-noir organized crime kind of deal. They reveal that Max is once again, for the third time, kind of at the whim of these shady, powerful forces that he had no idea were even in play.
Yes. The flavor of the neo-noir stuff is very different.
Yes.
This is a production note, but it's really important because it colors every aspect of the game. This is a sequel that was taken over by a different company.
Yeah.
Max Payne 2, we've covered Max Payne 1 for the show. Max Payne 2, we have not. But it does feel like a sequel to Max Payne 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not super wild about Max Payne 2. I don't like it as much as Max Payne 1.
Yeah.
Apparently a lot of people like it a lot more, but it's a direct sequel. Takes place in the same place, feels the same tone.
Mm-hmm.
This game by Rockstar, 9 years later, is remarkable both for where it's faithful to Max Payne and then where it changes.
Yeah.
Its place in the series is very, very strange. And crossing this off my list, finally getting around to play this, everything I thought would be good about it was kind of shitty. And then everything I thought would be kind of shitty about it was pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
It's one of those things like it's more accurate than I expected. I was expecting them to turn it into a Rockstar third-person shooter. and I was surprised to have it feel more or less like Max Payne.
Oh,
And have a Max Payne-esque narration.
mm-hmm.
The character feels the same while the world feels subtly different.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like little minor hangups.
Yeah.
And such.
I'm surprised to hear you say that. I don't care for this game very much, Gary.
Oh no, let's go for it, because I'm definitely mixed on it. Like I don't love everything about it or anything.
Yeah,
it's there are moments I like quite a bit, but I'll be curious to hear your thoughts about that. And it's also very refreshing when you dislike something more than I do.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen that often.
Man, I felt like this was such a deviation from Max Payne for reasons that we'll enumerate. But yeah, like the cutscene to play ratio
that is
excruciating and takes away I think one of the major things that I like. Like, it absolutely changes the pace of play. No longer is this like a breach and clear game where you are, kind of busting into new scenarios. Like, this is taking, from beginning of shoot to end of shoot. Like, all right, here we go. We're going to have like a little glitch effect, and Max is going to get up and open the door and move into the next thing. And then you and the enemies are going to start behind cover. They turned it into a cover shooter, which I don't want this to be.
Yes. We'll get to it. Like I don't disagree with that at all. I was not expecting to go into this as being the person who has the state's with the public defender for it.
I found it to be incredibly monotonous while enjoying the story just fine.
There are moments even within that monotony, it glues a cover shooter to Max Payne shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting the Max Payne shit to be entirely gone.
Yeah.
Because Rockstar did it, and why would they take this kind of outmoded gameplay style and recreate it at all?
Yeah.
I that doesn't sound like something that company would do.
No.
To me, I was surprised to find that there at all. And the points in which this game was at its best, I think, was when it felt like old Max Payne.
Yeah.
And when it was at its worst, it was a just absolute corpse piling cover shooter.
Yeah.
With way too many cutscenes.
Yeah.
As far as a cover shooter goes, I don't think it's a bad cover shooter. That I don't want Max Payne for that.
No. No.
But I think that in terms of just like sidling on up to a piece of masonry and popping off headshots in slow motion, I had a reasonable good time.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. And also, I might have just not been in the mood for something this simple, I just, man, there was not enough here for me to chew on. It felt like
it's way too long, and the iteration loop is changed by you're replacing the quick save with a checkpoint system. All this stuff we're going to get into.
Yeah, it's
all incredibly important, but it adds up to like as a gestalt of weird feel things.
Yeah,
Max Payne 3.
Games generally fall into like two categories. How easy is it? Is it super easy for me to sit down? Like, I definitely can't wait to sit down and play this. And there are games where it's like I'm looking for any excuse not to. This ended up being in the latter for me.
Hey, I'm just sitting back with the popcorn. I want to hear you tear this an absolute new asshole real bad. It's fun for me. Even if to me, this is like a C+.
Yeah.
B-. I think this is fine. And the parts, and again, it has to be over, like, it cannot be stated enough. My expectations were that it was not going to be anything like Max Payne.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't fair. That was me just being prejudiced against Rockstar.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a company I don't like very much.
Mm-hmm.
I typically don't think they do a good job. So they're going to do a bad job with this.
Yeah.
So, if you're expecting nothing,
let
me explain something to you. If you're expecting something that is piping hot and it comes to your lips and it's lukewarm, it's going to feel freezing.
Okay. Meat and potatoes. Yeah.
Well, meat and potatoes, Liz. So this is an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter. And again, hews pretty closely to Max Payne in terms of that basic thing. And Max's whole thing as a guy is that he's constantly throwing himself in different directions.
He likes to commit.
You dodge, you do this like dodge dive thing, and you go into bullet time. So it's slow motion. You can just activate that normally. And And the emphasis on that is something they brought over from Max Payne 2, like going into bullet time while not diving.
Mm-hmm.
The first game, like you basically just are always diving.
Yeah.
And it's real silly. And I also feel like, I don't know if this is true, but it feels like in the first game, you kind of get some iframes when you're doing it.
It certainly feels a little bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The second one stopped feeling like that. It started feeling like, you want to just be in slow motion while standing.
Mm-hmm.
This one kind of splits the difference a little bit. Like diving is still useful. I still got shot tons of times while diving, so much so that diving was not something I wanted to be riding.
Yeah, because when you dive, unless you are really canny about it, again, in this cover shooter where you are pretty fragile, you need to be really sure that where you're going to dive to is a place where you can eventually get to more cover. Otherwise, it just leaves you wide in the open, and your recovery time, like you can stay on the ground and be a completely, 360-degree mobile turret. At that,
you lay down a lot in this game.
Yeah. Which if I had bullets whizzing at me, I would probably lay down, present a smaller profile.
Preside a sleepier target. Like a more comfy target.
Yeah, I'd walk around and just one of those pajama onesies with a really long nightcap. Yeah, that goes all the way down, to my knee. Yeah,
licking something like a night lolly.
Gotta get something an all-night lolly.
Yeah, a big full moon shaped lolly. That gives me all the nutrients I need while sleeping. It's that's actually the way that you transition from laying down to cover is a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are no animations for kind of scooting your back up against a piece of cover, so you just have to stand up.
Yep.
Get shot a couple times. The amount of times that Max gets I got big laughs out of this game. The amount of people Max kills and bullets he takes for his employers, and how they're constantly like, "You're such a fuck up, Max." And he's like, "It's true. I was the world's worst bodyguard. I totally stuck shit. I'm a fucked up little man."
As
you killed all of Brazil.
As you go, as you go into, you killed all the fifth largest country in the world.
Yeah,
but you go into every cutscene, and Max's character model is just covered head to toe with these bullet wound stickers. You know,
it takes so many bullets for these rich people, for these dorks.
Most people, if they get shot, they only get shot once, and that's it. So anything above that is above and beyond.
I can't take that many bullets. The fact that you can dive, it maintains one of my favorite things from the Max Payne trilogy, though, which is diving headfirst into stairs or a wall.
Yeah.
And doing it in the middle of action. Because this is one of those games where when everything goes right, it can look incredibly cool.
Yeah.
Like what you do in this game can feel and look very cool. Yes. Is one of the appeals. Like you dive behind some cover. It's, you shoot a guy who rounds a corner from on the ground, then you barely get up in time to take cover and blind fire to push somebody back into cover. And it looks awesome. Mm-hmm. That happens. Sometimes though, instead you dive, you misjudge it and just bang your head on a pillar that you didn't see was there, and then just kind of crumble into the ground and then just get summarily executed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had quantum leaped into Max Payne.
Mid-dive.
It reminded me a lot of Arkham Knight, where like it gives you the cutscene of the Batmobile peeling out and then you hit an immovable piece of terrain, immediately stop. Oops, it's so great.
Gotta back up. Oh no, wait, no. Oh shit.
Yeah.
No.
Like get to Austin Powers Park, the Batmobile. And this is like get to Austin Powers Park Max Payne.
Yeah. He does move. He does move very strangely. My favorite move is just dive jumping off of a balcony. That way it stays in slow motion as you go. I think the longest dive that I managed to clock was 9 seconds.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And just I wasn't in a good position when I landed because I just dove right out into the middle of a courtyard with everybody. But I was like, I figure I can swivel around and take out enough of them, I guess.
Yeah. There's like kind of a you want to do the cool thing aspect to Max Payne, like a stunt shooter kind of thing almost. That only sometimes works. And we'll talk about why more to me, rather than tying into that rhythm that ties more into the checkpoint saving system.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. So Max is a hard boozing, pill popping freak. And you heal yourself with painkillers. I love that they're just sitting open on shelves. That
everywhere.
Just
There's very little reason to explore these much more detailed environments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but one of the reasons is to find everyone's stash of oxycodone. Everyone has,
and I do like Max's little quips whenever he picks them up. It's like, I figured I'd log these into evidence. And it's like, Max, you're not a cop anymore.
Max, I'm your friend. I'm not going to.
You need to update your zingers, Max.
You take tons of painkillers. Wouldn't be Max Payne, but lots of drug abuse.
Yeah,
they're very fun. And then when you die in this, you enter something called Last Stand mode, where you have to shoot the person who killed you, and if you do, you get to get back up with a little bit of health. Yep. This can be a pain. Again, Max Payne 3, when it works really well. You know, and then when it doesn't, it's really frustrating or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like somebody might just step behind a pillar.
Yep.
Who killed you. And it's like, well, fuck me, I guess. You know, and also this is the kind of thing that they play this card a little bit too much. Like this is really dramatic.
Yeah.
But you're a little too fragile and this happens a little too often, I think.
Yeah. Another death related thing is that if you run out of ammo, I mean, like literally no ammo for any of the guns that you have, you don't have a melee attack that you can do. Instead, like if you get up there, normally when you close the distance and attack, Max will do like a pistol whip, and then you do like a slow motion, like 2-tap on them. If you have no ammo and you make the mistake of like running up within melee range of somebody, they will pistol whip you and then you immediately die. It's one of the rare instant death conditions in the game.
Pistol whipping is rampant.
Serious business.
Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
And you will run out of ammo, which is fucking weird. You did not do that in the previous games, really.
Yeah.
I found. And the reason being is that because video games from the 2010s, you have a 2-weapon limit.
Yes.
Or a 3-weapon. You can have 2 handguns, which you can dual wield in different configurations that are really silly. Like I have an Uzi in one hand and a pistol in the other.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just to keep them on their toes. And then 1 long gun, as opposed to carrying around a whole arsenal. This is one of my least favorite general trends in video game changes. I really hate the 2-weapon limit.
Agreed.
You can use it thoughtfully. The plus side is you can use it thoughtfully. Like this is a way of developers gaining more control over encounter design. This is not player expression forward. This is design, grip forward. And the idea being like, okay, we think the player would want a sniper rifle in this zone, so let's give them a sniper rifle. They're going inside, we should give them a shotgun.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, Max Payne 3 doesn't really play by those rules consistently.
Not really, no.
The sniper rifle, yes. Yeah. Like your sniper sequences are pretty scripted in this. But I kept running into shotguns in like wide open areas and then going into a wide open area. And when I find a shotgun, my thinking in a weapon limit game is the developer is telling me something. Yeah. If there's a shotgun, I should pick it up. Even in 2-weapon limit games, I don't like that much. Like when we covered ODST, we covered Halo. Yeah. That had that going for it. Yeah. Like there'd be a shotgun outside of the building. It was very transparent. Like, hey, pick up the shotgun now. Yeah. But it was at least you could trust it.
Its availability is communication.
Yeah. Here, not so much. Here, it felt a lot more random. And there was also no reason ever not to use the AK unless I was out of ammo. Yep. So I would end up out of ammo and then like in these absurd situations of doing these long and medium range firefights with shotguns, which, you don't do that. That's not what shotguns are for. Video games taught me that. And it would have been avoided if I could just carry weapons. Yeah. Carrying all. I don't care that it's not realistic. I got shot 1 million times and I killed the entire population of Brazil. Yeah. Realism is out the window. Just give me a big fucking arsenal. God damn you, Halo, for starting this 2-weapon horseshit.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I'm happy that it's turning back a little bit at the very least. Yeah. So when we alluded to this before, and this is one of my major gripes, they do add a cover system in this. You can stick to the back of some masonry or to the side of a pillar and whatnot. And enemies will take cover too. And I figure if if a game like the Beginner's Guide can be called a walking simulator, I can derisively call something like this a head clicker. Which is kind of what a cover shooter turns into a little bit. It is waiting. Up there's a head, click it, that kind of deal. You can try and like bait people out. You can advance. You're a little too fragile for that. Instead, you kind of end up with these two systems: the cover and then the old Max Payne style antics. Which guess which one I prefer. I prefer the Max Payne one, but both of those, the inclusion of both of those systems means that they are constantly at odds, and it feels like the developer is really, really pushing the cover shooter angle on it because I think they feel like that is more cinematic.
I don't think you're wrong about that. I feel like I eked out a couple more situations in which I could play old Max style.
Yeah.
In this, and maybe this is memory bias. Like I'm remembering more of the first half of the game. Because eventually it does get so overwhelming.
Yeah.
The odds against you that like you have to play very defensively.
You're fighting armored enemies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like part of what you're talking about is this tension between being able to play aggressively or play defensively. And Max Payne, the original versions, one of the reasons why they were very cool is that you were encouraged and could play very offensively.
Yes.
Your dive roll and your time-stopping super cop powers were incredible. In that game. You'd go into a very small space where you would see every enemy on offer.
Yeah.
And you would dive roll, causing them to miss you, and that was the only chance you needed.
Yes.
So you were still clicking on heads, as you dived, but it was a much shorter iteration loop of that and less kind of finding the heads to click on them. Here you are very fragile. You want to be defensive because you're so fragile. So you can sometimes end up in these kind of stalemates. And one of the weird things that they do is they got rid of grenades.
Oh, they got rid of grenades for you. The enemy has them.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like enemy can still drive you out of cover. You cannot drive the enemy out of cover. That is what grenades do in shooters. Video games taught me that.
Yep.
And Max Payne used to be able to do it. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
You can end up in these stalemate situations where you do not have enough health to make a play, really.
Yeah.
You have to be really patient and wait for the enemy to lose their patience and eventually start to try to flank you.
Yeah.
And do that. And it does kill the pace. I want to talk about real quick, I'm sure you have this as a later note, but I think that really relates to this issue is that quick save versus checkpoint.
Yeah, I mean, this relates as part of the Katamari with the cutscene kind of thing. The fact that this really is, a series of shooting galleries stitched together by cutscenes with checkpoints at the beginning of some of them. Yeah.
So the iteration loop of this, we talked about when we talked about Max Payne 1, it feeling like Hotline Miami. You are doing a micro challenge, basically. Here, some of these are stretched out further than they should be. Whenever I play a game with cutscenes, it's very rare that I'm like, oh, they absolutely landed it.
Yeah.
Like they place these perfectly artisanally placed cutscenes or checkpoints. It's almost always like, oh, the checkpointing there was like pretty generous and good. That's fine. But this part wasn't great. There's always some kind of exception to it. This game has tons of that, where you end up in these kind of longer endurance runs that are simultaneously slower paced.
Yeah.
Then that can be a real bummer. And if I could quick save, one of the functions that quick saving had in the earlier Max Payne games is allowing you to be less risk averse.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to be in these stalemates. You could be aggressive and make your play. Like, I'm going to dive out of the cover and just see if I can break up the stalemate.
Yeah.
You do that now, maybe you get set back instead of just the beginning of the room, maybe you get set back 2 rooms.
Yeah. And I don't want
3
that.
rooms. Yeah. And that sucks. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. Like, are there ridiculous and degenerate ways to play? games with quick save, writing it every single time you take a shot and reloading every time you get hit. Yeah, I think that is a torture that people can inflict on themselves. I think that what having a quick save allows you to do is determine for yourself the length of your iteration loop.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, an important power for a player to have, and I miss it when it is not here. And I feel it more acutely right here.
Yeah, especially in a game like this.
Yeah,
like I'm not saying it's the solution for everything.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where it is, again, like taking a series where they took it away. Like I think it more or less works in Deathloop.
Yeah,
to get rid of it, and that's another kind of successor series that used to have a player mandated iteration loop.
Yeah.
I think it works better than it does here.
Yeah.
Partly because this game's real hard.
Yep.
I don't like the weird thing is I'm dog shit at this. And it's refreshing to hear that you are struggled with it as well, because I was thinking this was just like I found my, my subjective kryptonite.
No,
like,
no.
I'm so horrible at this. But I'm not very good at Max Payne 3.
No, enemies take a lot of hits. You take relatively few. And I was running out of ammo constantly, even though it always felt like I was, even sometimes dropping half full gun to pick up a full gun. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because you couldn't carry both.
Right.
Because 2 weapon limits suck.
Right. Yeah. So, I ended up having a good deal of trouble with this as well. And I do not, understand. I do not see a way like, okay, scaling up the difficulty or scaling down the difficulty. Like, this kind of feels like one of the ones where the only things that change with that are just how, damage amounts, like there's not an awful lot of like tactical brilliance on display from the AI,
No.
Just,
like it's more, it's a little different than Max Payne 1 and 2, where a lot of times there would just be like an empty room or a room with a couch.
Yeah.
It being a cover shooter means there's more interesting incident in the topography, but it's not, this time there's going to have somebody like a archer in the turrets.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to make those kind of changes. There might be another dude.
Yeah.
On difficulty, but they're all just going to behave the same and get undercover and try to shoot you.
And something that I feel is lost that relates to the difficulty. So Max Payne 1, because of its era, was too long and also got bullshit difficult as well. Primarily because of number of enemies. They really got you in with armored enemies and stuff. It felt like with Max Payne 1, because the nature of the challenge was more about figuring out how to clear a room after breaching it, because you would be going, room, hallway, room, hallway, room, hallway. Each new room kind of presented itself as its own discrete challenge, and you could outsmart it by killing the right person in the right order, right? Max Payne 3, because again, the cutscene when you go into a room will always start you out behind cover. It is more just about solving a number of battles of attrition than it is actually figuring out like what order you need to do things in order to conquer this smartly. Right. You're not really riding a throttle of aggressive versus defensive. You are just hoping to scrape out of this alive by shooting, by minimizing the amount of time the enemies are alive, broadly and generally across the board.
That was my experience for most of it as well, even though I could not shake the feeling that it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
The experience. Like that wasn't the intended thing. Mm-hmm. I kept feeling during this game like I was playing it wrong. Not because of things that the game communicated to me, but because I was like, surely this is not, I shouldn't just be this scared to leave cover.
But every time I did, I got slapped.
Yeah, it is too hard. The other thing that's the difference between this and the previous Max Paynes, even though you're right that the other Max Paynes were long, this somehow feels like a lot longer because of two things. To me, one, that is related to what we're talking about now is just the sheer amount of enemies. There are way more dudes that you shoot in this than any previous Max Payne game. In terms of just body count, this has to be up there.
No, I mean,
for video games,
it flashes up achievement badges within the game, and I got one partway toward the end was like killed 1,000 people, and that's a third of a 9/11 there.
Yeah, kind of just love to go to a foreign country and kill people.
Yeah,
and I understand they're bad guys. Yes. They are hateable. They're real bad guys.
Oh yeah,
and this, so they do a good. The other thing is the cinematics. So Max Payne, one of its unique selling points previous to this was the way it told its story through these comic panels and narration. The thing that I think that I was surprised that they kept with this is the voiceover.
Yeah.
Max narrates his journey to you the entire time, and it's entertaining. It's the same voice actor.
Yes.
Different writer, but the writing still sounded like Max's voice to me. And that felt very like warm blanket.
Yeah. I was happy with that.
Like, yeah. Really, really happy with that half of the storytelling. Significantly less happy with the cutscenes like every 2 steps.
Yes.
That they did. This is not something that video games should do.
Nope. Don't take the controller out of my hands, please.
Yeah. It's regardless of genre,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a real bummer.
Yeah.
You know, here they would go through and they would just kind of like, a lot of times the cutscenes weren't doing very much. They were just kind of blocking. It was
Max would
take a
crazy.
Slightly different position in a room.
It was crazy making notes for this because I'm like, okay, I've been in a cutscene for a while, but really all that's happened is Max, okay, he said something Maxy about the situation he's in, and then he went through a door, and then saw somebody do something, and then he walked through another door, like, uh-oh, company's here, and then he got behind a pillar, and then the next shooting gallery started. Like it is all just kind of blocking, and it's like you took away control from me for that to put in the to put in the little glitch effect and to have the late aughts James Bond text effect, put some of the words on the screen just to move me forward.
The Michael Mann.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. Yeah, it just it would take away control for extremely petty reasons, and it's like this could have just been done in voiceover as I was going.
Yeah, what I think they're going for with that, again, I'm not trying to extend this too much grace, is to try to enforce the rhythm of uptime and downtime that Max Payne 1 and 2 had.
Yeah.
Right. So like in the early Max Payne games, you would do these breach and clears, and a dungeon would be kind of a series of that, but there would also be hallways and rooms where there are no enemies.
Yeah.
And you would spend time walking down those and get Max's narration, and maybe watch a fake TV.
Yeah.
Put a quarter in a vibrating bed, Now they don't really have those. Every once in a while you walk between shooting galleries, but typically that walk time is done through cutscenes.
Yeah.
Or those walking areas have just a couple encounters sprinkled throughout. Mm-hmm. They break up the cover shooting arenas to have some hallway shooting.
Yeah.
Going on.
Or there's like set piece, like, oh, here's a helicopter flying overhead, meaning we're going to have these troops coming up in this next one.
Yeah, they'll do something like that every once in a while. But typically the way that they're trying to get that downtime is by just having Max position himself behind a different pillar while talking to himself.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot stronger if the narration just did that and it happened naturally. And they just had more downtime that was you investigating.
Yeah.
This game does a thing that is a bugbear of mine in video games, where a lot of times you have a partner who's yelling at you to constantly hurry.
Mm-hmm.
But the game has collectibles and things it wants you to find.
Yes.
In a level, there are clues and there are golden gun parts. I never figured out what golden gun stuff did. I never found all those.
No.
But regardless of, if you're going through a level, you are basically constantly being told to hurry, either by Max or your partner. It does not feel good with the rhythm. I never felt like when I got to a cutscene, I was getting proper downtime.
No.
Kind of feelings to it. The same way I would if I was exploring a vibrating bedroom in Max Payne 1.
Yeah. I much prefer the Max Payne 1 version of this, even if the spaces were cavernous, right?
Yes.
It was still, up to me to explore them as much as I wanted, as opposed to having the control taken away. And like, I don't know if this is going to be for 10 seconds or for 10 minutes. I've got no idea what I'm going to be walking into. And that uncertainty is fatiguing to a huge degree. There's also a reality, which is a lot of that cutscene stuff is load screen hiding. Rockstar has even come out and said as much. But I played this on a PC on a solid state drive, and not as much of it was skippable as you would think if it was load screen hiding. Also, I'm playing it for the show, so I'm not going to be skipping a bunch of stuff the first time through. So
yeah, it's still also the older I get, the less I care about whether something hides a load screen. Well, like I'm not here to, to give anybody special, legs up, like bonus points because they're doing something annoying and there's a technical reason behind it.
No.
Explaining something doesn't change its impact on a work.
Explanations are not excuses. Yeah.
Yes. And that's if it's on the plate, it has to be judged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Regardless of why you put it on the plate.
Yeah.
Right.
And you talked about it. You talked about this in the most recent dispatch that we did about load screens. We had a topic or a question about that, which is like, anything that you do to hide those load screens is going to age worse than just having the screen with a bar, because as hardware gets better, those screens will just go away. Whereas the elevator slowing down, people, sliding through the cracks in the walls, the slow walk as you talk on your communicator, etc., waiting for the door to open, all of that is going to remain and keep your game slowed down. Yeah.
And in Max Payne 3, it's the constantly stopping to have just slightly different camera angles while you narrate to yourself usually.
So it's like, all right, I've got to drive across town, but intermittently, every 10 to 100 feet, my emergency brake will turn on, and I have to execute a small dexterity challenge in order to turn it off so I can continue driving again.
Yeah. Cole has the Tokyo Drift. You'd be amazed. You wouldn't know what to look at him. But he's family.
I have to be out of control to be in control. Yes.
Yeah. That's classic Cole.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very difficult to talk about individual encounters.
Yeah.
In this, outside of some specific set pieces, to set an expectation for the back half of this. Not only do I sympathize with you taking notes for it, I'll be honest, so much of it fucking blurred together in my head.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because they're endless. Like I can be like, oh, the baseball or the soccer stadium with, the sniper bit.
Yeah.
And like that went on for fucking ever. There are a lot of discrete little bits in that, but it's very hard to like, I remember, going down in the stands and there being this like section with 2 levels, like a concession stand up top and a lower level. And then like a bunch of like soccer memorabilia. And that was kind of an interesting set piece to shoot around. But that level was, just some of a handful of the Brazilians I killed out of the my quadruple digit body count.
Yeah.
Of Brazilians. It doesn't really stand out. So we're going to move through some of that stuff a little quick when we get into this. So that's why we're spending so much time with it now. Like what these encounters feel like.
Yeah. A lot of loading docks.
Yes. Oh man. Loading docks. When I will throw in, a public defender point.
Okay.
For this, when there are set pieces, when you do something like a big action star.
Oh yeah.
Thing. Every single time that happened, it made me grin like an idiot.
Oh, the zip line? I love the zip line. Yeah.
Yeah. The zip line where you're like using the guy as the human shield. Just absolute chef kiss. Real fun.
Yeah.
You're still just clicking heads, but it just felt real. It felt cool.
Yeah.
And at this at its best feels cool. And part of the problem with it is that it ends up feeling laughable or irritating those other times.
Yeah.
Like, you would do something so amazingly badass like that and you'd feel badass. And then like Max Payne would be like, I'm such a dog shit bodyguard. God, nobody likes me. I don't even care if I live or die anymore. And
I don't want to be around,
man. God, you're intolerable, Max.
Yeah.
I love you.
Oh my gosh. When somebody pauses near the end of this and tells a Max life is worth living, like has anything ever rung more hollow?
It's a crash more skin for Max Payne 3 win. Like
everything's fucking sucked lately.
Everything's I don't even care if I live or die. They said that, assholes.
Oh my god. So the majority of the game takes place in this very gritty depiction of Sao Paulo, Brazil, which gets points for taking place in a different location than New York or LA or London or any of these other places you mostly see. You occasionally get these flashbacks to see classic model Max Payne drinking himself to death in New Jersey. You get like the nice noir winter kind of effect there, shooting across the rooftops and alleyways. It's a nice little connective tissue.
Get into a hilarious shootout visiting your wife's grave.
Oh yeah,
where you can use tombstones as cover and stuff. That's really funny. I'm gonna throw in a good boy point for this. It is wonderful that you spend the entire time in this game not knowing Portuguese and that they don't subtitle it.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I think incredibly deft decision.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like, I think that in terms of making you feel what the character is, making the player feel like this outsider who is in over their head, like does tons of work.
Yes.
For that. I don't, not afraid of people who speak different languages from me, but I do have, like, when I've sat around conceiving situations I think would be scary before. One of them that always works for me in a TV show or something, or that I've thought of, is somebody who is armed yelling in a language I don't understand.
Yes.
And I'm just there and it's like, I don't know what you want and I don't know how to answer you or communicate with you. And that's terrifying because you're angry and you have a gun.
I don't even know if I have what you want. Like, I don't even know how to communicate, how to get clarification. Yeah. No, it's a disempowering situation. Which, that, like, I don't think that there's any xenophobia in that, because I mostly think about it in terms of somebody being here, and not being able to speak like, oh, I have no idea if you are in terrible trouble and you need me to help you. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's something you don't see in video games very often. And I think that it works really, really well for the story they're telling.
Yes. Yeah.
Good work. That in general, I think the story is pretty good.
Yeah.
It is overly gritty. There's a silly body count, but a story of Max Payne realizing that he is being targeted because he's such a fuck up cliche.
Yep.
And being used for that, I thought was genuinely real good.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, been a minute since we played a game where I was like, I'm playing this for the story to continue. Like, I want to know what happens next, and that's keeping me going.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm a mark for a fun crime story too, just got no idea who's making a play or for what, who's playing who, that kind of deal. I'm down for it. Like, that's why I like Yakuza, and just I like a gangster story. And this
crime is great.
Yeah. This has that in, has that in spades.
Yeah. Yeah. That part is very, very quite good.
Yeah.
I think. It's worth noting that the tone of that crime story is real different than the previous games as well. And it's part of what makes this feel different than those. Like, Max feels the same to me, even though the writer is different. The previous games, for people who forgot, are at least partly about a supernatural drug
called
that
Valkyr.
Makes you hallucinate Norse mythology and stuff. None of that here.
No.
I kept expecting there to be, in an original draft of this, there was going to be Valkyr. There was going to be some stuff tied into the main silliness. Instead, it kind of feels like Max Payne, the superhuman time lord who can take as many bullets as need be, got teleported into a real story. There's like an element of realism that's heightened around him that feels a little bit odd.
Yeah. It is strange that there was this drug that was poised to change the world, and then there is no mention of it. There's no after effect of Max taking a whole bunch of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but bullet time came from Valkyr, right? Like, that was...
I don't remember.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I played Max Payne 1.
Yeah, I'm unsure if that was the case, but for some reason in my head I thought that was what.
I don't think so, because he kills a lot of Valkyr addicts.
He does.
Who can't do it.
And at one point he is dosed with it, and you go into one of those surreal platforming sections with it.
Yeah, you go into a dream sequence. It doesn't give him the time powers.
Okay.
I don't think. We recently played a game where you're thinking of The Messenger.
Okay, yes. I think I am thinking of The Messenger, maybe, possibly.
Yeah. Was that called The Messenger? Or Katana Zero?
Yes, yeah. Similar games.
I always get those games confused, yeah. Katana Zero is what was where the time drug.
Yes.
the person had. I think Valkyria didn't do that. Regardless of which, now we're dealing with like human trafficking and shit,
right?
And how cheap life is in in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, and it's Sao Paulo. I keep saying San.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird fit.
It is. But it's fine because you get like there's more than one death squad in this. That's brought out. Lots of death squads being brought in.
It's caught between Crisis on Midnight death squads.
Also, I like Max's utter disdain for his clients.
Yeah. Yep. It makes tons of sense. It kind of like a parts of this, it felt a little bit like playing a Logan game.
A little bit, yeah.
And that was really, when it felt like that was great. Like, just like this guy's over, like super confident, super competent, and over the shit, completely over his surroundings. It looks good. There's part of bringing this into the AAA Rockstar space that is also adds that tonal clang, I think. In addition to the previous games being about a semi possibly magical drug, they had like an amateurish quality to them that I think was pretty key to making it work. Transporting Max Payne to a more realistic zone for me highlighted the unrealistic things. In the previous Max games, I never thought like, oh my God, I've killed half of New York.
Nope.
But here, all I was thinking about was bullet count and body count.
Yes.
In part because of that realism.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. I mean, it just, you spend so much time in cutscene. It really does feel like, yes, this is a markedly Rockstar presentation. And it also feels a little bit like almost like a tech demo for them winding up to roll out Grand Theft Auto 5. Which has some of this cinematic presentation. Obviously, there's much more. I mean, wildly more gameplay in that than there is in this. But it's almost like, all right, we need to get up our cinematic chops for this massive game that's going to be our bread and butter for a decade and a half. Let's work it out on Max Payne, this incredibly linear thing, before we bring it to a wide open sandbox kind of deal.
That makes sense. Yeah, still have not played GTA 5.
It's good.
So I hear that. It's I just never got around to it.
Yeah.
So who knows? It is fun in this game. It looks good to stop and shoot stuff.
Yes.
This has that Metal Gear Solid 2 thing. Of course it does. That's an old game. This is a new game.
Yeah.
But it's real fun to like just shoot individual things. Even though every once in a while, and I never notice this in games, there will just be an absolutely hideous texture.
Oh God, yeah.
On something. It's so weird. Like the game looks real good. And then every once in a while you'll pass by like a poster that looks like it's so pixelated as to almost be a QR code.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you kind of change the angle and it's like, oh, that's the sign of the women's bathroom. Like, oh my God, this like, Team Fortress Classic clan spray that Max just did on the wall.
Is that a heavily JPEG artifacted Waffles Revenge pattern from Windows 3?
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's there's definitely stuff that you're not expected to get up close to. I think because they imagine this was going to be going to be played as such a roller coaster. They didn't anticipate getting into those corners, I think.
Yeah. And so that's why they included someone yelling at you to hurry the entire time, even though they also told you to go into the corners.
We didn't have budget for that corner of the office.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't put any golden gun parts there. You're not supposed to go there. Max Payne and the quest for the golden gun.
Yeah. Or Max Payne and the quest for, I have no idea which door it's trying to tell me to go through. There are lots of doors. I mean, ultimately the door I'm going to go through looks identical to any number of the other doors in this environment. But in the course of this firefight, I lost track of where I was supposed to go. So I guess I'm just going to poke around for a few minutes.
At least at one point throughout the game, they start making the doors you're supposed to go through be slightly ajar.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to notice that.
Not always.
Not always. And if a door is closed, 95% of the time it's just closed.
Mm-hmm.
And that 5% of the time, like it's either critical path or like you definitely want to go there because it's somebody's fentanyl stash. You know,
also like again, the classic Rockstar thing of the very quick tutorial that is never shown again. But I was playing this on mouse and keyboard because it's the only way I can play Max Payne. Because you want that speed and the accuracy with it. But I didn't see that there was just a mantle button. Like, okay, press this to vault over to vault over this thing.
We're time diving over.
Okay, I've got to get up on top of this AC unit and then get up on top of the roof on top of that. Time dive. Hope I get up there. And then stop. So and then it's time dive. It's like there has to be a better way.
Like the entire time we were doing it, your guy's just like, I'm absolute dog shit. Nobody loves me. My parents should have aborted me. I hate me. While you're just time diving over and over onto platforms. It becomes real classics of game stuff. The mantle button is really funny. Like I also forgot about that for much of the game. And then there's no jump.
No.
You know, there's that mantle. In previous Max Paynes, you could jump.
Yep.
In this one, there's just time dive is your only jump. So the few times I was trying to legitimately get up on top of something, if it was a little bit higher and I couldn't mantle, I ended up trying to do some time dive platforming. Yeah. And that was very funny.
As we've said, this was developed by Rockstar instead of Remedy. The Remedy did kind of advise on the direction of it. Remedy was happy with it, although some of the quotes have real big PR tour kind of energy to it, where it's like, oh, we love Rockstar. Rockstar never makes a bad game. We knew it would have the Rockstar seal of quality. Some of the quotes that you see about this, so who knows? They have said that if Remedy made this, it would be very different, and I believe them when they say that.
I believe them too. Even though I'm not really sad that Remedy didn't get it because Remedy went on to make Alan Wake, which is like stuff I don't really like.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a fan of Remedy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fan of Max Payne 1. This began development in the mid 2000s. It was announced for a late 2009 release. Initial reactions to this were pretty mixed. The fans were very worried that Rockstar would tamper with the original too much. I'm fans. And then Max in this is chonky and old and bald.
Yep.
We can talk about that. We got something in a fat, balding Max in this, and fans did not like that. I actually really like that choice.
Oh, yeah.
I think fat, shitty, bald Max actually works perfectly. I really like that he aged in real time.
There was no other way to do it. It'd be weird if they didn't. I mean, just like I remember, like the first shot that they showed, it was basically like the Jeff Goldblum angle from Jurassic Park, you know, where he has a chest glistening and he's laid out. Except it was Max with no hair, and he was wearing that tank top, and there was a stain on the front that made it very plausible that he had just recently vomited down the front of him. And like people were like, what in the hell is this? I'm like I was never really bothered by it because at that point I hadn't spent a lot of time with the first Max Payne, but I was like, I mean, the thing about the dude is that he drinks, so it makes sense that he would wash up like this if time had passed. So cool, then give it to me.
I think that works really well, actually. Personally, the game was delayed many times, disappearing from the face of the earth, and then Rockstar brought it back out with some screenshots in 2011.
Yeah.
And the delays, these were justified. Let them do things like get the original VO artist. I read that they originally were planning to have a different VO artist so Max would sound older.
Yeah.
Was originally a plan. What a disaster.
That would have been rough. Yeah.
Yeah. That wouldn't have worked.
No.
So, but the additional time allowed them to get the original VO actor who, naturally through the ravages of time got a little bit more grizzled himself. And then they also added the New Jersey segments, which I think are great. Like those are pretty fun.
The screaming mob boss, my son.
That guy's great. Also his shitty kids. Yeah.
This was made and released at the height of Jersey Shore fever. They got to take that easy pot shot. Yeah.
Yep.
They spent a good deal of time in Sao Paulo researching locales, gathering reference footage. You can tell that there's they put in a lot of detail work with the different environments here. And this is a global game. The development was spread across multiple Rockstar studios. And the game ended up really overrunning on time and cost. Those delays also accounted for 3 complete rewrites. Ultimately, this ended up costing more than Grand Theft Auto 4 or Red Dead Redemption. Massive, huge games. Yeah, because of mismanagement.
Pretty strange, given that it's smaller and much more linear.
Yes.
Yeah. The game was completely rewritten 3 times, which is nuts.
Yeah.
And the dev team worked 16-hour days, no days off. So, of course, there's a body count because Rockstar.
Yep.
Big bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all
this was revealed by a group called Rockstar Wives.
It's a shame. Shame that has to keep on happening. I remember the EA Wives back in like 2004. It is always family who ends up having to step out in the stead of the instead of the employees, because the employees are under too much threat of reprisal. So and they were probably reprised against anyway. So
100%. Real bummer.
Yeah.
So make video games without a body count, please.
Please.
This did review well and sold well.
Yeah.
We talked about having a mixed reception. That was the fans being receptive to Max's gut. In terms as a video game, this sold well.
Yeah.
And did well. There were still some fan backlashes, but it did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So, no new Max Payne. Max Payne is over.
Yeah.
Now.
He literally walks into the sunset at the end of this.
Yeah. I like him having, this is fine.
Yeah, this is
what happened to him.
This is okay. He gets to see other people start their lives. He did end up helping folks in the end, which is good. But yeah, Remedy's making other stuff. Rockstar has been making the same game for the past 15 years. So
yeah, Rockstar will never move on.
Nope,
from GTA Online.
Not at all.
They're making an HD remake of Max Payne 1 and 2. Has been announced, but we have no release date or anything like that.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
No,
I want this to look like absolutely. I want Max Payne 1 to look like dog shit.
Yeah,
I want it to be playable, but I don't really want it to be HD.
Yeah, as long as fans can keep it running on PC, that is a-okay with me. Although it might still look like dog shit. Look at the Grand Theft Auto HD re-releases.
That's true. I imagine that put the fact that was such a kerfuffle.
Yeah, that probably
did throw a handful of sand in the gears on this.
Made them think, oh, we can't just machine learning this entire process. We actually need to hire people to do shit. Yeah.
So we probably won't. This is neither here nor there.
Okay.
But just Max Payne related. Did you see YouTube suggested to me, I never would have watched it, but Remedy put out for Max Payne's 20th anniversary or whatever, a thing with Sam Lake, the writer who is the face model, putting on the jacket and then lip syncing, the voice actor lip syncing.
Putting on the jacket and then what?
Putting on the jacket, and then he stands there and looks like Max Payne, and then the voice actor did internal monologue thanking everybody it was the 20th anniversary. It was the worst thing I could think of.
That's cute.
Doing the whole thing. It was super cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute. This Max Payne is not cute, but Max Payne used to be cute. Yeah.
While still having a body count.
Yeah. A sweeter body count. The other thing I was thinking about, if they want to do more Max Payne, it would be funny, would be to do a prequel.
Okay.
And I want to have Max Payne in college and kill his entire college. He just some kind of horrible grades for money scandal or something that he gets involved in. And then just, you go through a college, you have the different themed buildings, you have a rec center and stuff, fun environments, and just absolute, he's been doing this even before he went to the police academy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
his entire life.
To do it like a Dead Man on Campus kind of thing, where, just okay, I've got to get an A this year. So I'm going to kill my roommate, but they just keep on giving him new roommates. And the people charging in
the problem with the bathroom.
The people charging in all the arenas, they're just walking in with their bags.
Their bag. You go in, you breach a room that's full of potential roommates. Slowly use an order of operation to kill the roommates.
We are fancifully describing a school shooting. So
The original draft of me wanting to do the prequel in my head was going to go earlier than college.
okay.
And then I realized, that I don't want to joke about that.
A little grim.
Yeah, that's a little too grim. So I went to college and still got grim.
Yeah.
So
still pretty grim. Not to be a bummer. I just want to keep perspective, you know?
What if Max had until the end of spring break to get laid?
Ooh.
What if we went in a joysticks direction with it instead?
But there would still be shooting.
I mean, that is Max Payne's verb.
Yeah.
He loves shooting people in the head. It's like his main thing. It's kind of
like
crazy.
vitamins to him.
Yeah. Every once in a while, it's very fun to see somebody who is just at the top of their game.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of what that game is. Yeah. And just seeing somebody just like thriving and moisturized and living their best life. Absolutely in their lane, shooting people in the head.
Under no circumstances have you got to hand it to him.
Yeah. I'm gonna hand it to him. He's really good at headshots.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Love my boy. That's gonna be it for this half of this. Like I said, the second half of this, if you're hearing this, you are not a patron.
Mm-hmm.
We still appreciate you listening. If you want to hear the full premium episode, you should become a patron by going to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv.
Yeah. If you have thoughts about Max Payne 3, it is probably, it's definitely too late to write in about it. The deadline for responses on any given game is the 15th of the month in which we feature it. There is still time to write in about June's games, though, which are The Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, Terranigma, Another World / Out of This World. Same game, different titles depending on region. And the premium game for that month is Vampire, the Don't Nod action RPG.
Yeah. No early release now. So if you want to hear the premium version of this, you can hear it right now.
You can.
Just flip on over.
It
At
is
the same
there.
time you're hearing this preview version.
It is there waiting for you. Also, there might be some people, if you're not a patron, but you still tuned in and gave during the stream we did very recently about raising money for Fund Texas Choice, us doing the bad video game cartoon stream. Thank you very much. That was a good and fun event, and I was really heartened to see all the people coming out and donating money.
Yeah, if you like that kind of thing, if you like the watch along energy for future events, let us know.
Please do.
And we'll see you next week with the dispatch.
Yes, we will. Bye-bye.